The residency program featured a series of face-to-face and virtual expert lectures by subject matter experts in disability, public policy, international development, ASEAN affairs, human rights, and social welfare. The program also included a number of site visits to prominent local and regional government agencies, disabled persons organizations, and private sector corporations. Ms. Judy Human, Special Advisor for International Disability Rights at U.S. Department of State, and Ms. Charlotte McLean Lapo, Coordinator for Disability and Inclusive Development at USAID, shared with students their roles as leading international disability rights experts. Dr. Sri Prapa Petchara Mesre, Lecturer and Director of the PhD Program in Human Rights and Peace Studies at Mahidol University and Convener of the AUN Thematic Network on Human Rights, spoke on the intersection of human rights and disability within ASEAN. Dr. Irwanto, Director of the Center for Disability Studies at Universitas Indonesia, discussed the concept of disability leadership and effective advocacy skills in promoting disability policy and rights. The students received vast knowledge on the background, history, and structure of ASEAN, as well as the complicated relationship between Malaysia, ASEAN, and United States, and regional strategies, successes, and challenges by American University Associate Professor Dr. Amitav Acharya, current President of the International Studies Association and world-renowned expert in ASEAN affairs, and Assistant Professor Dr. Pek Kun Heng. Expert lectures from civil society organizations such as Mr. Christian Dunn, Director of the General Election Network for Disability Access, on electoral access for persons with disabilities in ASEAN and monitoring of national elections in Indonesia, contributed toward the broad range of academic preparation knowledge received by IDPP students from high-profile academic, researchers, government, and non-profit leaders. Site visit to Putrajaya, the Federal Administrative Center of Malaysia, and Cyberjaya, a federal science and innovation park and critical part of Malaysia's multimedia super corridor, allowed for interaction with the government-run inclusive schools in the country. Visit with Southeast ASEAN Ministers of Education Organization Special Education Center in Melaka, a UNESCO World Heritage Site History City, Microsoft Corporation Malaysia, Malaysian Association for the Blind, and YMCA Kuala Lumpur, allowed for invaluable interaction with government, private, and DPO sectors on disability policy, advocacy, and grassroots activities. A new component for the 2014 IDPP annual meeting was a storytelling workshop the day before the IDPP Advisory Board meeting. The workshop introduced annual meeting participants to the techniques of effective storytelling for advocacy with a focus on the powerful stories of disability community. Facilitated by IDPP Faculty and Evaluation Committee Vice Chair Dr. Marlene Arnon, the half-day interactive workshop offered storytelling principles, the use of data in storytelling, and how to find, create, and tell compelling stories. Groups of participants shared the stories they had created and the conclusion of the session. The first in the series of innovative annual meeting elements was the inaugural IDPP Accessible Cyber Teaching Training Workshop. This full-day workshop was designed to prepare and train faculty from across IDPP partner institutions to design and deliver quality accessible cyber leading courses. Facilitated by IDPP Executive Director Dr. Derek Cockburn, IDPP Faculty and Evaluation Committee Chair Dr. Jennifer Ellis, and Dr. Marilyn Arnon, and Director of Technology Mr. Clyde White Jr. The workshop presented an overview of accessible cyber teaching and featured sections on basics in teaching to ALL and technical training in Blackboard Collaborate and Moodle. Disability subject matter expert Mr. Eki Ninomiya, Executive Director of the Asia Pacific Development Center on Disability, and Ms. Tomastin Sarchet, Associate Director of the Pre-College Education Network at the National Technical Institute for the Deaf Rochester Institute of Technology, shared with faculty and staff across the ASEAN region the principles to understanding how to teach and support students who are deaf and hard of hearing, blind and visually impaired, and mobility impaired. The expertise and voices of IDPP alumni were interwoven throughout the workshop with in-person and video sessions. This workshop was designed to be level 1 in a 3-level training course that will conclude with certification after completion of synchronous and asynchronous contact. Approximately 30 faculty and staff from Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, Myanmar, Japan, and the US received enhanced knowledge on how to teach ALL students and are now on their way toward completing training in IDPP's accessible cyber teaching. This reflects the breadth and depth of IDPP's impact, but also provide concrete faculty training opportunities that are becoming increasingly instrumental as the network collaboratively develops blended and virtual master's degree programs based at partners universities across the ASEAN region.